What's up, world? I'd like to welcome y'all to Drug Dealer's Dreams podcast, yo. Shit is real. We got real guests.
Yup.
Informative. Yo, my name G.
I'm Benny Blanco. You know, for those of you who lived it, can relate to it, seen it, heard it, felt it, been through it, it's for you.
Yo, we gonna have real convo, real guests, real just back and forth with me and my guy, man. Sit back, enjoy the ride, man. Drug Dealer's Dreams.
Word. If you tuning in for gossip, tune out.
Facts.
Yo, another episode of Drug Dealer's Dreams podcast, man.
We back with another ep. We got special guests in the building.
Facts, I'm G.
Benny.
Yo,
G. Gotti.
It is G. Yo, man, we got special guests, man. Friend of ours at that.
Word.
So
Word.
it's different. It's family right here, man.
Word.
My man Gotti. Let's try to give you an ill rundown, man.
Definitely.
Formerly signed to Cash Money Records.
Before
R.
that,
Kelly Rockland,
Definitely.
right? Fiesta remix, y'all would know this, man.
Definitely.
Classic verse, right?
I Wish remix.
One of the
That's the
illest.
first one. That's
One
the
of the
first
That was the
illest.
first
That's
one?
my first song.
Definitely.
That was hard.
Definitely one
That
of
was
the
definitely
illest
hard.
R&B, rap, whatever combination records ever.
Okay, I'm gonna
Definitely.
co-sign that. That
Definitely.
shit was hard.
Then
The
original
video
Fiesta.
was hard.
Definitely.
I fucked with the
After the
video.
I Wish remix, the original Fiesta. Then the Fiesta with Hove on it.
Okay.
The original Fiesta.
forgot there was
it's
original
on the TP2.
Yeah, the Kiss was supposed to be on it. He wasn't on
No,
that.
that was the
joint.
mixtape. Yeah, that was on the
Yeah,
DJ
yeah.
Clue mixtape.
Yeah,
They did
okay.
that.
Facts,
That's when
facts.
mixtapes was popping. So he was on the mixtape version.
Keep my eyes full of neck full of frozen water. That was the
Yeah.
Kiss joint.
Yeah.
I remember. I
So
know my
yeah,
history.
so they did a remake to the to it on a mixtape with Clue. So yeah, he put it out.
That's where I heard it from.
That was the official mixtape version.
Okay, I'm with it. So, man, we in the A. We go back some time. I met Gotti through Benny.
Yeah.
All right.
I met Gotti through Chance. Just I ain't
life.
talking about somebody named Chance. I'm talking about
Just life's
actually
chance.
I was doing music.
With your cousin.
Yup. Ran up on you at not Fellini's. What's the shit next to it?
Aztec? Aztec?
No, the little
On Peachtree, not
the little
Fellini's, the
Mexican
Mexican spot next to. That's always next to La Fonda's.
Yeah, La
It's
Fonda.
always
Yup.
next to a Mexican
Always
spot,
next
even
to
on
La Fonda's. Yup. And tried to get that feature. Got the feature.
Facts.
And we did a little negotiating.
You was getting a lot of money then, so the negotiation was a good negotiation.
Yeah, we got the negotiation. Went straight to the studio. You had the 745, I remember. Still got what you got on 750. Whatever that was. I saw it pull up, the white joint.
Yeah.
Always is something. Jay's ain't
it's
came
just
out
good.
yet.
It's just
You know what
good.
I'm
It's
saying?
just good, bro, to see you from then till now.
Yeah, thank
still
you.
doing
Still
your
looking
thing.
good.
You guys
man.
too. You guys too.
Still
I
doing your
appreciate it.
thing.
Not just my growth. I see you guys grow.
Word.
Like G was getting it too, and I see where G at now. A legitimate entrepreneur. That's a great thing. And then me and you reunited years later and we was on our spiritual kick.
Word.
Facts.
You know, it's crazy somehow. That's why I knew you had to be a guest on here, because somehow we just keep reconnecting. So it ain't a coincidence, you know what I'm saying? Ain't
The
a
reason I fucks with Gotti, pause, is Gotti's always positive.
Thank you,
100%.
Anytime we anywhere,
100%.
yo, it's just love.
100%.
Yo, what we drinking, what we doing, whatever, and that's what I be liking. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you always see somebody it'd be like, damn, shit ain't looking good for me, or man, sometimes it might not be good for me, but it's still good because I ain't gonna never give that it ain't good. You know what I'm saying? So you always gotta have that. I live by that. You know what I'm saying? Glass half full, and you live by that. Every time I see you, it's happy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta live like that because life gonna throw you curveball. You gotta take lemons and make lemonade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely respect that. Every time
Appreciate that.
we out and about, it's always love, man. Everybody got stories, man. The first time I met Gotti, it was probably, I hadn't been out that long.
Right.
For the next 3 years after that, every time Gotti said, G just came home. This my man. He just came home. I'm like, dang, Gotti, I done been home. You act like on, bro. Don't tell everybody that came on like
You
that.
already know.
Bird, because
already
first time
know.
I met Ja Rule.
Yeah.
We went to room service. This Atlanta. This you could tell this is a while
Yeah.
ago because room service ain't even open
Yeah.
no more. But Ja, you just got out. My man just got out too. I'm like,
yeah.
oh man, he just come home.
Yo, and that's
but,
the thing though.
but he show love. It don't matter.
Definitely.
Star, regular person.
It don't matter, and that's
I treat everybody the same with respect. You could be a homeless person. You could be working at McDonald's. I treat everybody the same.
Respect.
I respect everybody. That show your character, who you are. When you respect and got love for somebody, can't do anything for you.
Wow.
That's it right there.
And you know that shows in the years I've known you, you keep relationships. People that you may have met 5-10 years ago, they always vouch for you. You vouch for them.
Yeah, that's important.
Right.
Because I got in the game to be legit and further myself and be a better person. Like, and not just be a better person, but be a better business person and understand the business. I think when you get into any business, whether it's rapper, athlete, medicine, doctor, whatever you're doing, you should do your research and do your homework and try to be the best that you could be at it. That's another reason I started rapping. I wasn't in the top 10 rappers. Like, I was lyrical, I was nice, but if I can't be the best, at least in the top 10, top 5, like, move out the way. Let the youngins do it. Let somebody else do it that know what they doing. Like, I realized that, and I said that to myself. I bowed gracefully.
A lot of
Go
people.
ahead, do your thing.
A lot of people be looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and
Yeah,
sick.
flabby
You know what
and
I'm
sick.
saying?
Yeah.
Nigga
You
playing
got-
on my shit.
Let's talk about the game though, like the game that you got in. Let's take us back to Chicago.
From
Growing
Chicago.
up.
Yeah, born and raised in Chicago.
How did you even-
What part of Chicago you from?
I'm from the West Side.
You know, everybody talking about West Side, Wild Hunters,
Yeah.
South Side.
Right.
What's the difference in the South?
Well, the South Side and the West Side is like night and day. I'm from the West Side. I was born in Cook County Hospital. Like, my whole family born in Cook County Hospital. So, the West Side is like, most of the people on the West Side, 65 to 70% don't know their father or don't have both family members or don't know your mom. And the West Side is just wild. It's no good part of the West Side. The whole West Side is just crazy and wild and every man for itself. But it's still discipline when you in the organizations, the different gangs, the different blocks. The South Side, not all, but more of a majority have both parents, or their parents have good jobs and they dress better. They make more money. The South Side bigger than the West Side. The South Side, you could tell the South, they know how to dance, they know how to skate. They a lot more.
They more groomed.
They way more groomed than we are because most of them make it out. So it's so many people from the South Side here, New York, LA, even Paris and other places of the world. Like 95% of the people on the West Side not going to make it out. They happy with just being the king or the queen of Chicago or the suburbs. Like they not even trying to get out. That's the mindset. It's a different mindset.
So how do you get introduced, if you're from the West Side, how do you get introduced to the South Side?
Well, we
kids?
go
Like,
to the South Side. Like most of the people on the West Side will go to the South Side, but
what y'all
not
go
too
there
many
for?
people.
Like,
Not too many people on the South Side going to come to the West Side.
course.
There's nothing there for them.
so y'all go there just to see something different?
We
fuck
go
with
there
some
to go.
chicks,
We go there
whatever.
to go to Hyde Park to go eat. Like that's where Obama and President Obama. He's still my president. Him and Minister Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson. All them live on the South Side, and all them in the Hyde Park area. Like, like most of the people that have something going good for themselves is on the South Side of Hyde Park or downtown or the North Side or the South suburbs.
All right, so the West Side is...
The West Side is
Grimy.
real grimy, man. But it's some good people on the West Side.
Of course.
It's some good people on the West Side. There's some good people on the South Side. It's like any city, you know. That inner city is just something else because Chicago got a bad rap, a bad name, but Chicago is a beautiful, great city. It's just the inner city is just not that good at all. And the North Side is great, downtown is great. South and West suburbs is awesome, but it's just that inner city is like, you would get killed. Like we have 2-3 murders like that. And if it's a holiday, we'll have 30 to 40 murders and it'll be over 100 people shot.
Bro. Like, I thought I'm from inner city. Y'all motherfuckers be wild. I'm talking about 60 bodies this Memorial
Yeah,
weekend.
that's
You
what
like,
it be. Yeah.
Like, what do you think what do you think? You grew up, right, at a certain time, and before we even touch on the music shit, right? But now you see kids that was your age, because when you got into music, you was already a teenager, right?
No, I didn't get into music until '98.
You was in your 20s.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So,
So you grew up already, like.
Yeah, I got into music. I probably was like 22 years old when I got into. I probably was like 21, 22, 21.
So when you look at these young, the music and the streets they're so like intertwined. They're so related, right? They're closely related. Like I remember looking at a kid, like I was feeling the kid Rondo, number 9, right? I was feeling Fredo, rest in peace, right? I was feeling these dudes, even though they weren't platinum artists and whatnot, because it was just the authenticity of a city that was going through it. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like when you was coming up, because I know the first Chicago artist I ever got introduced to was Twista, hands down. And Twista was dope. Like even when New York had their chest out and felt like we was better than everybody, Twista was the shit, And but it still didn't have that same, like that whole savage life shit, all that Chief Keef shit, that Fredo shit, all that shit. Like when you was coming up, did you feel like that was the element, or like what did you feel like was your way in?
I think we had groups like that. They just never made it out of Chicago. We had Psychodrama, COG, Children.
That's
of
the head in the
Ghetto.
middle of the barn.
Psychodrama was Twista was down with them because they used to say that.
He did a couple songs with them.
Okay.
Cameron
Twista
did a
was
joint
down
with
Do
them
or
too.
Die.
Right.
So they was spitting that like before I even start rapping. They was spitting about that like 97, 98, 99, 2000. Triple Darkness, and COG got signed to Mac 10 label back in
Adrenaline
like,
Rush, Psychodrama was on it, right?
Yep.
And I remember him saying it slow, in like chopped and screwed, kind of like Psycho.
So like they was doing that back then, but they just didn't have an outlet, and they didn't have all the technology that we have now. So nobody knew about it. It wasn't even MySpace back then. Like it was none of that. So they couldn't get out there. Like you probably could put out. I don't even know if it was mixtapes popular in the late '90s, but they just had nowhere to get it out there. So they've been doing music like that.
So you felt? Did you feel that pressure like an underdog coming up trying to do music in Chicago?
No, I didn't, because I feel like when I started doing music in '98. I started rapping. By the end of '98, early '99, I put my money that I made in the streets into a record company. My first name, Wild Top Records. I paid Rappin' Forte for a feature to get on there. I paid B-Lo from Do or Die. He got on there, and then he liked it so much, he got on another song for free. I paid Psy from Psychodrama, and I put Triple Darkness on there. And people thought it was a joke though. I'll see Twista, the Brat, like they really would be not laughing, but they're like little smirks, like you really rap. Like they thought I was trying to like wash my money or something. Right. They thought I had more money than what I had. You know how it is. If you make 400,000 or 500,000, they think you got millions. Right. So it really was a lot of insults. Like even my crew, who I was getting money with, a lot of them start looking at me sideways and start like making a mockery out of me wanting to do music and legitimize myself. So I fell out with my friends before I even made it. Like I fell out with them, and a year, 2 years later in 2000, when I get with R. Kelly, they start trying to come back. Nah, I'm good.
So how did that happen? With all these people saying like this shit?
They was laughing like, oh, he beat a murder, he locked up, he's scared now. But when I see them, they not saying they just like, man, you serious? You want to put your money into rap? You gonna waste your money? Like, don't come to us if you waste all your money, because we putting our money into good use. Like my money wasn't going into good use. Right. They was just really like clowning me.
Let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah, because you just jumped over mad shit. You jumped over, you beat the murder, and then you got with R. Kelly, like you jumped over mad shit.
All right, now you grew up on the West Side.
Yeah.
What's the gang affiliation on the West Side? Is the West Side is just this, or is just a mix of?
No, it's a mix. I grew up on the West Side, and my mom and dad from the West Side, and once school started, once grade school started, they moved us to Bellwood. It's a suburb, but it's not a suburb. You know, like they sell dope, they gang bang, they prostitute, everything out there. But it was like people that had money moved there. So it was white people out there as well, and that's about it. It was probably just white and black and just a few Hispanics.
So how you get pressured into the street life? You being that
So while living out there at the age of 13, I started selling weed. My big brother, he was selling heroin. He was he a few years older than me, so he was 16. He was selling heroin. My uncles, all my father brothers was selling dope. My father dropped out of 8th grade, and he was in the streets. And then his friend got picked up for a murder. They gave him 55 years. He ended up doing 26 years. My father got his life together, went to church. Then he started preaching. But then, he preaching, but then, he get to hanging with Don Juan and certain people. And it's like, so anyway, to make a long story short from that, at 14, I started selling coke from weed. Me and my man, I don't want to mention his name, but good dude, we started selling coke. So in my mom and dad backyard, we playing ball, and me and this guy had a problem. And I shot him in the backyard twice. So when I shot him twice, it was by accident when I shot him. So I went to the juvenile detention for 8 months. So he came and said it was an accident. They let me go. At that point, where I was living at, they told me I had to get out of there. I'm not welcome now. I can't come back there.
Real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you already told me this story.
Yeah.
And I want you to break down your mentality at that age, because when you told me the story, it was a little more detailed.
Yeah.
When you say had a problem, I just want people to understand how easily these things escalate. Yeah, like what do you mean had a problem?
Yeah.
It wasn't even over no bread or nothing, as I remember. It was really some basketball shit, right?
Yeah, we was playing basketball. I just don't want to get too far into it because it was an accident. Like,
of course. But it's like what I'm trying to get at, right? For you to explain to people, is it was really like a pride thing. It was really like, I said I'm gonna do something and I gotta do it now.
Yeah.
You back me in a corner, I have no choice.
So how we come up, like I say, my uncle, my big brother, my father was in the streets at an early age, my cousins, everybody I saw, so when I saw the Cosby Show, I never thought it was real. I never knew no lawyer on my block, in my neighborhood. Nobody in my family was a lawyer or a doctor ever. It was like impossible. So everything I saw was flashy cars, money. So that's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to be a basketball player, a rapper, or none. I wanted to be a dope boy since I was maybe 10 years old.
That's the point.
Let me say, my parents still together. My father was a good father. My mom a good mom. They was in my life.
You don't have no excuse.
I don't have no excuse. This is something that I wanted to do. My father had us selling candy at 11, 12 years old, going door to door selling turtles and brittle candy for $3, giving him $1.50, and me and my two brothers and sisters. And me, my big brother, my little brother, and my uncle, we shared a room downstairs. We shared a room, and my sister had her own room. But we got food stamps, government cheese, and all of that. But then there was times we didn't need that.
Y'all was a family.
Yeah. There was times. But my father, once he started preaching, the money started coming in. He got a beeper shop, and beeper shops was popping in the 80s. He got a beeper shop in the 80s, and then turned it into a phone shop. Then he got a little hole in the wall restaurant, like in the hood, on Madison and Costner in the hood, when you go outside the restaurant, they selling dope on this corner, and then the hookers on this corner, 5, 6 hookers, as soon as it get 8, 9 o'clock. So we was right there. I was right there around all of that at 11, 12, 13 years old. But my uncles and cousins that was around me, they was getting money. And that's what my big brother was doing. That's what I wanted to do.
Of course.
I didn't have to, but I wanted my own money.
Of course. Yeah. And you was trying to carve out an identity for yourself. See, that's why and we keep coming back to this no matter what guest we have, right? No matter their backstory, no matter the backdrop, whatever. And I don't mean to pause this story, but that's why this is so important. Because so much of this shit that we went through, no matter how different our journey is, the one consistent thing is we try to carve out an identity for ourselves.
Yeah.
And even if we didn't have to, some motherfuckers were starving, they had to do it. Some people had it all, they didn't have to do it. Most people was caught somewhere in the middle and they just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, that's what's so definitive about our generation is that you wanted to do this shit because of the influence. So you in this basketball game, and I'm not gonna press you, bro. It was an accident. I got you, right? You know what I'm saying? But that influence, anything you participate in, if it was a game of 21, if you was on a street corner, if you was in the classroom, you bringing that mentality to that.
Yeah.
And that shit leads to problems. You know what I'm saying? So accidents happen, whatever, motherfucker get shot, you know what I'm saying? God, thank God he ain't died.
Yeah, he got
right?
shot in the chest and in the stomach.
Right, thank God he ain't died. He vouches for you, it was an accident.
Yeah.
But now you what age?
I was 14.
Now you 14, coming off a serious charge, a serious incident. Do you still have this mentality like, yo, you still want to keep hustling, you want to change your life?
Oh yeah, that made it worse because the whole town they was like, he on the shit. It made it.
They feeling you now.
Man,
Gotti buses, like D do
man,
whatever.
I'm really like feeling myself because everyone they whispering and I'm like, oh man, I'm 14. So
you
I'm
ain't
like,
part of no gang at this point.
I wasn't part of no gang until I was 15 when I moved. I moved to my grandmother's house when I was 14, but I was just over there and then I was hustling, and a couple of the brothers stepped to me like, man, you can't hustle over here if you're not connected, if you're not plugged with us.
What set they repping over there?
The set we repping. And they was repping Mafia and St. Vice Lord.
Okay.
Off North Avenue. They called it Death Row because it was a body every day. And this in the 90s, it's a body every day.
All right.
And they knew your background, you coming from somewhere else. They knew,
they knew my background because I've been coming over there and it's just like, not even 15 minutes away. It's like going from right here to Buckhead.
All right,
so it's like, they already knew because I've been going over there since I was a kid. I was spending weekends over there. It's my grandmother's house.
So what's as a 15-year-old, and this is on the west side?
Yeah.
All right.
You back in school?
No, I dropped out of school.
So after the bid, it just was you.
I went back to school for a half a year and I just stopped. I had got a car, a Chevy Malibu was my first car. And I went kicking it with them. I finished that semester out, and when I went back to be a sophomore, I had money, so I bought a GTA Trans Am with gold BBS rims, with the T-tops. So they I was carrying $5,000 to school. Anybody that know me would tell you this story. I was taking $5,000 to school.
What's life like? Like, what's your average day like as a 15-year-old hustling on the west side
I
of
had
Chicago at that time?
every Jordan, every LA gear, every sweatsuit, the troop jacket, 8-ball, all of that.
But from wake up to go to sleep, what's your life like?
I'll go to school, and then one of the teachers, I gave him my beeper number, so I was kicking it with one of the teachers. And my sophomore year was my last year. I was in a class, and the teacher was like, you can't bring no beeper in my class. Is it more important than this? I was like, actually it is. Somebody trying to get 4.5. He was like, what? He was like, what is 4.5? So the kids started laughing, the students started laughing, he get mad. So give me your beeper. I was like, man, suck my dick. Yeah. So he went out the class, called my father. My father came up there and smacked me in front of the whole class. That was my last day of school. I never went back to school. But first my father was like, oh, you want the teacher to suck your dick? I was like, I didn't say that. Anyone heard me say that? Nope. Everybody was like, nah, he didn't say that. The teacher was, I'm not gonna lie. He said, no, I know you said it. He smacked me in front of I never went back to school. That was my last day.
So Gotti's high school career was over?
Yeah, it was over. I never went back.
So now you telling yourself, I'm a full-time hustler now?
Yeah, I was a full-time hustler at that point.
Okay, and what happens after that?
After that, when I got 16, I started selling heroin. Well, it's heroin, but we call it heroin or dog food. So I started selling that.
The money was better? Why'd you transition? Because that game is fucking dirty.
Much better.
You know, we done had guests, we know from experience that game is fucked up. It's a dirty game, bro.
The money was much better. Like, because the
But
difference
the risk is bigger too.
Yeah, the risk is bigger, but you 16 years old, you don't
even
care about the
understand.
risk.
Yeah,
you don't
understand.
even care about it. When I was 16 years old, before I turned 17, I had $80,000 stacked, a GTA Trans Am, and my first one-bedroom apartment. But I was still living with my grandma. My apartment was like my little stash shit. That's what that was. I always loved my grandma, and at my grandma's house, it was like a party every day because there was 23 of us living in there.
So let me ask you a real family question, bro.
Yeah.
And please, if you don't want to answer, say you don't want to answer. But why, if your pops is a pastor, right?
He wasn't, but his pastor career was short-lived. Like
He just became an entrepreneur.
he was a
It was a
pastor.
hustle.
He was a pastor.
It was a hustle.
No, he was a good pastor, but like
He wasn't
got
that
his church
bad.
and stuff, like that came to an end. Like,
But the family.
my father,
Yeah.
while he was a pastor, they showed him on the news. He got caught up at the airport. They showed some suitcases. And, and then he was in the newspaper. So everybody at the school teased me. Oh, I knew your father wasn't no preacher, all of that. But my father, he was a preacher, but that was short-lived. Like, he wasn't a preacher for his whole long career. He was a preacher for a good little period.
Got you. But what?
But he taught me good values. He instilled good values
No doubt.
in me. He had us reading the Bible, all of that. But he was still a hustler though. Like my father, he had the
But
gun,
what had you?
the
What had
gun
you
belt,
go
the
to?
holster.
Why did you end up at your grandmother's?
I ended up at my grandmother's house because they kicked me out while
Okay,
I was living
all
with
right.
my
Caught the charge.
family because I
Got
caught
you.
an attempt murder.
All right.
And even though the guy said it was an accident, and I said they wasn't going for that.
I just wanted to piece that together.
Yeah,
Why you even ended up
they
over
kicked me from over there. They told me I wasn't welcome over there no
Okay,
more. So
okay.
I didn't really start back going over that way until maybe,
You was ready to get back to buy your grandma's crib though, huh?
yeah, because that's what, like,
That's where the money was at.
and I had friends over there. And my grandma, like I say, my grandma, all lived in a building. It was a 2-story, but it had a basement. So 2 of my uncles lived there. My aunt lived there. I had 9 cousins that lived there. No, 10 cousins that lived there. My grandmother, her sister, and her sister's husband. And both of my uncle's girlfriends. So, it was 23 of us living
And you
there.
had more freedom over there, obviously.
Yeah,
You
and
could
it
do
was-
what you wanted to do.
And one of my uncles there, he was copping work from me. He was a drug dealer, and then my other uncle was a junkie. So I was getting money. I was doing me over there. I was getting money right there. And then so, like I say,
You
when
were
I-
set up. You were set up.
When I start hustling over there, that's when the mafias approached me like, man, you can't hustle over there if you're not with us. Like it ain't like that.
How'd you feel about that? Was you with it, or did you?
No,
did
I
you
respect
put up a
it
fight?
I respect it because I know how it is. Like you got to be smart, you got to be wise. So I was young, but I wasn't young and ignorant. I was young and I had some sense. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's a whole mob, it's a whole organization, and it's me and I got 3 people working for me. It's no fight. You got to be smart.
Right,
I was
right.
like, I'm gonna think about it and get back to y'all. So I didn't get back to them fast enough. So the chief of the whole joint, he was like, he wanted to see me.
Yeah.
And my man Mississippi, he took me over there. He's like, man, Chief wanna holler at you. I was like, I knew who he was, but
And you still what? 15 at this time.
I was
16.
16 then.
Okay.
17.
So I probably was 15 going on 16. Yeah, I was 15 going on 16, I believe. I don't know. I was either 15 going on 16 or 16. So they walked me down there to see him here in front of his mama house. He got like 25 dudes out there. And I hollered at him and everything went cool. And then, we talked for like an hour. And he was like, man, I like you, man. Take my number. And then I took his number and I ain't hollered at him. 2-3 days went by, he called me, what you doing? I was like, I'm at my grandma's house. He was like, oh, I'm gonna come pick you up. And he had a sister with him. His sister was my homegirl. Johnny May, that was my homegirl. That's his old sister.
Okay.
She already liked me because she was like, man, he young, but he a go-getter. She was bragging on me. So anyway, he liked me, me and him connected, we became cool. And from that point, I got my little spot over there and nope, they gave me my own spot. I earned stripes. I did things that I had to do, and I put in work. And I had the same people looking up to him start looking up to me, and they start respecting me the same way.
So your career, even though you're doing the wrong thing, your career is going good.
Yeah.
So when does the music come into play?
The music came into play. I got locked up for a first-degree murder.
So this is not the basketball game. This is something different.
That was an attempt murder.
Right.
I got locked up for a first-degree murder at 20 years old. I was locked up. No, at 21 years old.
Is that your first time in trouble since then?
Yeah, that was my first.
So you ran for some years.
Yeah, I had a gun case when I was 16 at the Riviera, Cliff Leviston Club on the north side of Chicago. Cliff Leviston played for the
NBA.
I got a gun case there, but the police, it was unprobable cause. I had insurance license and everything. He didn't have no reason to search the car. So I don't even know how the gun got there, but it was a gun there, and I really don't know how it got there. So they threw it out.
Searched you regardless.
They threw it out in court because he had no reason to search me. I had license and insurance, and I didn't do anything wrong. And I don't know if he planted the gun or what, but I know I didn't put a gun there.
Well, fast forward to 21.
Fast forward to 21, I called a first-degree murder.
What's the circumstance?
My name was ringing real big in my neighborhood and then in other neighborhoods because I started reaching out to other people as I started
growing.
Yeah, growing, exactly. So my name was just ringing real hard, man, and my name was involved in a lot of stuff that it shouldn't have been involved with. Some was true, some wasn't true.
Word.
So now I'm locked up for a first-degree murder fighting it. After the 7th month, I was tired of sitting in there. I told my lawyer, can I get a speedy trial? The state offered 45 years. He came, I was like, nah, we're gonna fight it. He was like, well, you'll do 20, you'll get 2 years good time if you, I was like, yo, I'm not even talking about, we're gonna fight it. Because my lawyer was George C. Howell. He only lost 3 murder cases out of 140 something. So that's why he was my lawyer.
All right, so real quick, at this age, right? You what, 20, 21?
Yeah.
21.
No bond?
It was $1 million bond. My bond was $1 million.
But you had enough, you was smart enough to stash enough bread to obviously get this lawyer.
Oh yeah, he wanted $40,000. First-degree murder, yeah, come on, let's do that.
Okay. And you in this situation, and you're not taking no for an answer, basically.
So after the 7th month when I was telling him I want a speedy trial, I waited a whole nother 12 and a half months. I was in there 19 and a half months. I went to court. It was 3 witnesses. And
real quick. In there, in where? Where are you at?
I was in the county jail.
Because we had guests from Chicago give us a description of certain things.
Yeah, county jail is nowhere you want to go. It's people that'll take 3 to 4 to 5 years to get out of there. You just take it to get out of the county. The county bad.
Tell us what the county's like.
The county is like it's 32 guys on the tier. Some of them have 1 TV or 2 TVs. The little bitty cell, you know how it is, the little bitty cell that's old and fucked up and it's cold. They keep the air on intentionally to freeze you. And you know, it ain't no hot pots or nothing because it's jail. It's not the penitentiary. So it's fights. It's 3 people got killed while I was in there.
And the gang shit is definitely real.
Man, the gang's running. Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody tell you. Like, the guards gonna do what the head people say because they don't want to lose their life or they don't want to get, like, it was 3 murders in there while I was in there, and we went on lockdown because a couple of Latin kings escaped. They escaped and they found one of them.
It was a wow.
So we went on
Chicago
lockdown for a
was
week.
Crazy.
So the circumstances of this body, is it y'all at the club? Y'all?
I don't know the guy that was murdered. I don't know anything about that, but it was 3 guys that put my name in it that was witnesses, and it just so happened that God worked it out in my favor. Justice prevailed, and I was found not guilty. I guess they had a guilty conscience, so my lawyer, they went and saw my lawyer and signed affidavits saying that the police made them say that they didn't see me killed.
So they ended up dropping it. You ain't even had to go to trial.
No, I had to go to trial. They didn't drop it. They were still trying to give me that time. So after 19 and a half months, I went to trial. All 3 of the guys had to testify and say, you know, the police made them said they didn't see me murder anyone. Okay. And everyone was telling me to take a juror. And my father told me to take a bench. Everybody except my father.
You took the bench?
I took the bench.
Real sure.
Judge Judge Porter, courtroom 205. He found me not guilty. And I didn't really know because I was just in shock because out of the 8 people that was in there with me, out of the 32, 8 people was already found guilty within them 19 and a half months. Nobody beat their case. It was all murders and double murders. That's it. No dope selling, no gun cases, no rape, no nothing. It was all murder and double murder. So they gave my man Sambo, they gave him 80 years, coleslaw, 50. They was giving out so much time. So when the judge said not guilty, I was just in shock. I didn't really know what was going on until the lawyer was pinching me, telling me my mom. I looked back at my mom and grandma and I was like, I beat it. So I sat down. I'm like, man,
you was in the zone.
I was zoned out. Yeah,
life was over.
I was just like, man, because you know what I'm saying, like, man, when you got to do that much time, it's like, man, you gonna be an old grandfather when you get out. So after that.
You said, let me start rapping.
So now you got a second chance on life.
I started rapping a couple years after that.
You get through this shit, but you super tied in at the same time.
Yeah.
So, of course, rewind real quick. That's why you got that backlash. Like, oh, this motherfucker done beat this charge, that charge. Now you trying to rap. Like, get the fuck out of here. Right? But you are really trying to rap.
Yeah, I am trying to rap.
So how do you take your first step into that shit to be serious?
I put my money behind my cousin, CeeLo, Shunga. He lived with us.
Okay.
He lived with us too. Now my cousin Shunga, he been through hell. Like, so he was rapping about some good stuff. But with him, he used to draw airbrush T-shirts and he'd sell weed, but he never got into selling coke and heroin. He never got into that. He just sold a little weed, to make him a couple thousand every week.
Right.
So I was putting my money behind him because he was a way better rapper than I was. He was I think he a year or two older than me, but he knew how to put words together like Poor Righteous Teacher and
then that's the era we was in. It was more conscious shit was
Cool
dope.
G rap. Like he was like, he was lyrical, he was a beast. So I wasn't even really thinking about rapping.
Right.
But I used to tell him how to mix baking soda and 7-Up and a comeback to make the cocaine stretch. I used to tell him stuff like that, and he like, put the Dorman pills on the heroin, and they get that nod and they sick. Like I tell him stuff like that, and he like, so when he using that, I was like, man, I could do this. I told him I knew what.
So he was taking your stories, making his raps better.
Exactly.
Right. All right. Okay.
So, but he stopped taking it serious because this somebody else's money. So it's like, man, you gonna do it at your pace and do what you want when it's somebody else's money.
So you became self-reliant. You said, I'm a rap. It's my story.
Yeah, so I wanted to do it myself.
Now, as you rapping, a lot of Chicago was on player shit too. Was you on your player time or was you on street time? How was you? How was your rap?
I was rapping like I had like 3 styles in one. Like I wasn't doing the fast rap, how the typical Twister, Crucial Conflict, Do or Die, Psychodrama.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up listening to.
Yeah.
That's hard. Right now, to this day, I'm still a fan of that music.
Right.
But my style was different. So they was like, man, how this dude rapping? Like, I was rapping different. And I was rapping on some player shit. I was rapping on some gang shit. Then I was rapping on some smooth shit. Yeah. So I had like 3 different styles. And then I was fly. So the girls always liked me because I was fly and I was like, I had money and I wasn't scared of nobody. So, it's a difference. Like, it's some niggas that you be with that's killers. There's some niggas that just players that don't want no trouble. They ain't pussy. They just players. Then you got the thieving ass niggas, the scammers. Everybody make up the crew, whatever it is. But I was never scared of no one. Like, if somebody was messing with one of my people, they sister, I was the one, come on, let's go get them. So they love me. Even my guys, when they start respecting me, looking up to me, I never just sent them, I'll go with them, let's go handle this. That's why they love me more than some other people. Other people just send them off, go do that. Yeah. You'll send them to do stuff you wouldn't do.
Word.
So I got a lot of love from the streets, and every time my guys got locked up, if they worked for me, I bailed them out and got them a lawyer. That's another way I spent a lot of money. Yeah. I never left nobody. I never robbed nobody. I never set nobody up. I never stole nothing. My man, a lot of people know him, my man, he got locked up in the feds for a long time, and when he got out, whatever he gave me, it was still there. Like, I never took nothing from nobody, ever.
That's it.
Word.
That say a lot. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no honor, ain't a lot of honor amongst thieves. We talk about that shit a lot. Sometimes you're doing wrong shit. You still
but that's why I'm still here too, though. Like it ain't just luck. Like, you know, I got a praying family too. Like my grandma, my parents, they prayed for me when I was locked up. My mom told me I knew you would be right here dead, and that's what really made me wake up. I'm like, man, I really was that foul in the streets. Like you don't really be knowing, and you affected people.
It, you don't know, and then when you can take a step away, then you get perspective.
Man, it was about. I promise you, since I was 13, 14, like every couple years, my father renew an insurance policy on me. I'm like, man, I didn't really wake up and understand until I got out of jail. I'm like, man, like, I know the dude, the agent name, Leonard. I know his name, but he'll see me smile. Hey, how you? I'm like, man, I know he waiting on me to, but my parents weren't waiting on me to tell, but it was just the life I was living. Like, I got 59 close friends and family members dead, 59, not associates, people I hustle with in my family. My cousin who lived in the 23 of us in that one house, my cousin was 14. She got her brains blew out at 14. She looked just like me. My cousin who rapped, that was his sister. Her oldest brother, Boo, he locked up for 102 years. He been locked up since 93. So it's 13 people, that's my family members and friends, who I still take care of. If it ain't nothing but $50 every 2 weeks, it's 13 people who I'm looking out for.
All right, so through all this shit, right, how the fuck do you run into R. Kelly?
Where the fuck do you mean R. Kelly?
I used to play basketball at the boys club and the YMCA, but the boys club the most. And the boys club in Bellwood, I used to play ball up there. Boo used to be there, but Boo 4 years younger than me.
So Boo,
we talking about Boo and Gotti.
Boo and
my partner Boo. Right. So Boo brother Ike.
You already knew Boo this whole time?
I knew Boo brother much better than I knew Boo.
Because you were older. Because you were older.
Because Boo brother is 1 year older than me.
Okay.
So I knew Boo brother because me and Boo brother, we used to play ball, but Boo would come up there with his mom to get his brother Ike. Boo was young because I was young when I was hooping with Ike. I probably was like 12, 13, 14 years old. I was young because I stopped going to the boys club when I think the boys club told me I couldn't come back over there after that attempt murder too. They told me I wasn't welcome back over there.
The boys club tells you you can't come.
Yeah, they was like, you know, because when I went up there, a lot of people demeanor changed. Like a lot of guys that was gangsters and that was supposed to be little thugs, when I came around, like they tucked their tail. So the director looking at this like, nah, I can't have an uncomfortable environment. That's what he told me then. I didn't understand that then. I'm like, uncomfortable environment. I haven't disrespect nobody in here. And he was like, you whooped somebody. I was like, I don't know nothing about that. I always was smart and knew to say no. I don't know nothing. I don't know none of that. So yeah, one of the dudes went and told him, and then, you know, when I come around, a lot of people, you know.
Of course. So how do you meet Boo? How does it transition?
Oh yeah, so I was knowing Boo brother, and then I knew Boo, but I didn't know Boo good. You know how somebody you say, oh, what's up, shorty? What's up, little man? Like that.
Right.
But then once you get, you know, when you get in your 20s and somebody else in their 20s, okay, you ain't no little man no more. You ain't no younger. So anyway, I had put my CD out the end of '98, and I had put it in Sam Goodies and mom and pop stores, and it did okay. And then I did an INF commercial. I gave, I think BET charged like $12,500. I did an INF commercial. Well, my commercial on for 1 minute through the whole Midwest region. So they'll give me, I was getting 25 plays a weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was
What was the song you had up?
It was called The Game.
The Game. And you was going by Gotti at the time?
I was going by Wata Gotti.
Wata Gotti.
Yeah, I was going by Wata Gotti. They started calling me Gotti after that attempt murder. When the guy said it was an accident, they started calling me Gotti. And then so like my grandmother, my mom, like everybody will say Gotti, all my friends. So then after the first degree murder, they was like, you just Gotti. So I stopped the Wata Gotti. I just went by Gotti then.
Okay. So Boo, you think he kind of drawn to you because of your reputation? Yeah,
so Boo, I saw Boo at this restaurant called Mickey's right by the boys club. And I saw Boo. He was like, man, I heard you got a CD out, you doing your thing, like your name ringing. He was like, I know you probably don't remember me. I was like, yeah, I know who you is. He was like, who am I, whatever. And I think I was like, you Ike, little brother. And he was like, yeah, you remember. So he was happy. He was excited.
Right.
So he was like, man, can I get your number? I was like, yeah, you can get my number. So I give Boo my number. And he didn't tell me then. He told me the next time he hit me, told me to meet up with him. He told me the next time, he was like, man, G, I got a group. Me and my partner, Roy from New Jersey. He was like, we signed with R. Kelly. No, he was like, we signed with Rob. We got a deal.
Who's R. Kelly?
Yeah, I didn't know who Rob was. So the first time Boo told me to come holler at Rob, you don't know what the fuck.
CD. But you still don't know who the fuck he's talking about.
So
but R. Kelly gotta be the biggest motherfucker. He's like the Michael Jackson of Chicago right now.
Yeah, so I ain't even know. I really wasn't. Boo was like, man, you can't be, you gotta come, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right. He was like, then he was like, we gonna be at Hoops. We gonna hoop. I was like, I said, I could play too? Yeah. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna get you to play. I was like, cool. So when I go up there, this the end of 99. This the end of 99. It was just about to be, this probably like a week or two away from year 2000. And I went up there and we played ball, Boo and He was like, this help me. I mean, so whatever, he was like, yeah, I hear you in the streets.
Just passed the Aaliyah rape.
I don't know nothing about that. I don't got nothing bad to say about R. Kelly, Cash Money, nobody.
Of course.
I don't got nothing bad to say about nobody.
But R. Kelly is a superstar. All I'm saying, he's a superstar.
Whatever you think, that's what you think. But I have nothing bad to say. So this the point when I start respecting this man and having love for him. He asked me, he was like, I know your positions in the streets, and I know you beat a murder. I know this and that. You do this, but if I give you a chance, will you let me down when you go back to the streets? Or can this be your last day in the streets? And I was like, I said, yeah. He said, you said it too fast. He was like, what job you got? You got a job other than in the streets? I said, I never had a job before. He said, how long was you in school? What college? I said, I ain't go to college. I said, I don't have a GED, high school. I don't got none of that. So if this is an interview, I'm probably gonna fail it. I don't got none of that. He was like, all right, so you file your 1099? I say, what? Did I file what? I didn't know what. I was like, I don't know what that is. So then he asked me about some more. I say, man, I'm a fail whatever you trying to. I don't know nothing about this stuff, man. I know one world. So he was like, I'm gonna give you a chance if you could promise me you'll leave the streets alone. From that day forward, I'll say I never, one time, I gave a nigga some bread and he brought me some bread back, but I didn't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was promoting something on real estate. I don't know, but it was one time after that because I was like, I gotta be straight into this rap shit, make it. So let me get this man some bread. Whatever you gonna do with it, just bring me this back. I don't want to. I don't want to know what you gonna do with it, but here you go. So that was some bread where I could hold on because I never had a record deal with R. Kelly. Nobody know that. I only had
so when you told him, I'm gonna do this music shit, what was the agreement? Like
the agreement was he want to sign me to his label and make me and Boo partners. Rockland.
Okay.
Because Boo and his partner fell out, so Boo didn't have a partner. So.
And you brought that credibility.
Exactly. So they had just stole all R. Kelly jewelry, $250,000 worth of jewelry. It was on the news a week before.
Out his house?
Out the gym. A week before this, some guys stole $250,000 worth of jewelry. It was all over the news. So a week later, he signed to me. So the dudes...
he wanted some credibility too.
So the dudes in my hood telling me, he using you, he don't want you to rap, because they don't... Most of them already mad I'm rapping now, changing my life. Going in a different direction. So he using you. That man, he want protection and he know you. I was like, man, look, whatever it is, I'm gonna take it and run with it. Because he didn't have to give me a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that was my first job, and he didn't.
Is that how you approached it, B? You approached it like a job?
Yeah, I approached it like a job because once,
So you wasn't on some rapper shit like, my dreams came true, I signed my deal. No. You approached it like...
I approached it like it was a way to get out the streets and legitimize myself. I wasn't a backpack rapper. I wasn't a hip hop head rapper. I loved hip hop. I loved hip hop since I was like 5-6
And
years
you already
old.
had started to rap, whether you met him or not. You was
Right.
still
Yeah, I
trying
was
to
still
figure out
gonna
a
rap
way to
because
get
I
it
was
right.
rapping a year before that, and I was getting my name.
So
out
what
there.
happens
How-
so after you had? Go ahead now. Go ahead.
How quick? Because you talking about that's 99. That's 2000.
Yeah, that was a
You're-
week before 2000.
You're
That was-
on Fiesta remix. You're on Fiesta in 2000. How did that happen that fast?
It happened that fast because every day from that point, like 3 days straight, we was in the studio. Like when I was leaving 6, 7 in the morning, I'm leaving. Hey, where you going? I'm like, man, I'm about to go to sleep and shower and take care of some business. Like, I'll call you when I'm coming back. I got your number. He was like, nah,
we work.
stay here. We working, man. You got to change your attitude, change that mentality. Like, you got to get a
That's
work
why he
ethic.
got 10,000
I'm like-
songs.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
so
30
day
hours.
2 come. Same thing. I was like, man, it's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. What time to be back tomorrow? He was like, man,
Ain't no back no more.
write some stuff. Like, I want you and Boo to get on the same page writing. That's right.
Yeah.
I was
So
like,
Boo in there doing the grind with you though.
yeah, Boo in there doing the ground with me. Boo was with Rob. Boo was with him since '98. Boo was with him on that double album. The double album, it's a song. They
R.
was called the Vegas Cats. The
Yeah,
R.
yeah.
Boo was on that. Boo was
a
with
good
him.
Shit with Keith
The
Murray.
Boo was
on
with
the
him
same-
2 years before I was with him.
Right.
Like
Okay.
Boo met him at the Rock and Roll
You know,
McDonald's.
this
That's the
is
most
ill
famous
just for
ever.
like
I
music
mean,
historians because you know R. Kelly, no matter what your opinion is on him, fuck all that.
Make great music.
He makes great music and his history is very private. It's very private because of whatever, right? Allegations and shit. So going into getting insight on his work ethic, how shit was happening. You in Chicago, you are underdog. You're not in New York City, you're not in LA. You're in Chicago and you're the biggest R&B artist in the world at the time. And this is your camp. These are you're the only 2 artists, right?
Yeah, no. He had
The chicks.
but he had the one girl.
Stroke you up, chicks. So changing faces.
No,
Yeah,
not changing faces. They wasn't signed to him. He just like
That was a good
wrote
call,
their
though.
album and production.
That was a good call.
The girl,
had the hard single.
Sparkle. He had Sparkle.
She's from
Definitely.
Rochester.
He
Is
had,
she from Rochester?
She's from Rochester.
he had Sparkle, and then he had a
They
group
had like
called,
a movie video.
Then he had a group
That
called
shit was dope.
Secret Weapon. 3 white boys that was cold.
Never heard of them.
Them some of the coldest white
They ain't
boys.
make it out.
He
They
had
ain't make it
Secret
out.
Weapon,
They
and
ain't
then
make
he
it
had a
out.
They
group
still the
called
Secret Weapon.
Yeah,
he had a
the
group
secret
called
is
Talent, and
weapon.
the group Talent is on
Yeah.
the Tupac. That's just the way it is. Things
Yeah.
will never be the.
Okay.
That's them.
Okay.
So them the 3 groups he had. Then he had me and Boo. So he had 4 groups. But the whole thing was not long after that, why he couldn't sign me is because Interscope stopped his budget because of the sex tape thing.
Oh,
so they
okay.
stopped his budget, so he couldn't sign.
So you
me.
have no paperwork though with him
No
during this
paperwork,
time.
verbal commitment.
Did he give you bread?
He gave me money every 2 weeks or every month. He gave me a check. His
But there was
account
no
gave me
like
a
big
check.
advance. It
You
was no
talking
yo.
5
No,
grand?
Nah,
We
it
talking
was no.
10
You
grand?
come with me. Here's 100
We talking
grand.
like 1,000.
Right.
It was
You really wanted out the streets, bro. You wanted
yeah.
out the streets.
One thing I wanted to do before I got killed. I didn't know when I was gonna get killed or be locked up again.
Right,
So my
right,
main thing was to do something to make my mom proud and my grandmother and my pops, like just to really make them proud. And then I had a baby, so I really, I had my daughter. That's my only child right now, still to this day. So I really just
During that time.
right before that, I
So-
really just wanted to go in the right direction, man. And
So you grinding in the yo, right? You putting in
Every
the
day,
hours
every
every
day.
day.
Yeah, that's what
R.
I'm-
Kelly work ethic is crazy.
every day, like I promise you, that man was in the studio every day. The whole 2.5 years I was around him, every single day except Christmas and maybe Thanksgiving. Because even on his birthday, he was in there. He only missed 2 days a year. The 2.5 years, I was around him every day, like 2.5 years. Me and Boo.
Right.
But Boo was around him 2 years before me.
Right.
How does this I wish
Yeah. So
Remix.
is
So-
I wish the first
so-
shit that pops.
Yeah, but he started letting us record. First, we was just writing to tracks. He would produce like 10 tracks, give them to us. We was writing to him. Then he started letting us record. So he heard like 5, 6 songs, like, yeah, y'all nice. So he was like, y'all gotta find a name, a rap name for y'allself. And
Yeah, he was really developing groups.
see, Boo and his partner was the Vegas Cats. So we couldn't come up with no names really. Like we came up with Major League, but then it was another group in Chicago called Major League.
Yeah.
And Lupe Fiasco, he rocked with them, like he rolled with them. It was Lupe Fiasco, my man, I can't think of his name, Teron, man. He off North Avenue, he from where I'm from, his family is. But Lupe Fiasco rolled with them. So they was messing with one of my guys, June Tate. He was an OG. He my man, he loved me because I made sure his son and daughter was cool on North Avenue. So they come up to the studio and want to battle for the name. They said whoever win the battle get to use the name Major League. So Lupe Fiasco out there with a white t-shirt around his head, and the other group, they got their hood with the bat, they got their thing. They like, man, Gotti, we could battle for it. And Boo tell me we should talk to Rob about it first. So Boo go back in there and holler at Rob, and he was like, nah, leave it alone. Cause they may have would have won a battle because I wasn't a battle rapper.
Right,
like,
yeah,
them
yeah.
niggas like was really battle rappers. Like they woke up rapping.
Lupe's writing raps all day long.
Lupe from the West Side too.
Right.
Like Lupe family was in the streets. Lupe from the West Side. I'm from the West Side.
Okay.
The Brett from the West Side. Crucial Conflict, Do or Die, Twister, Psycho Drum, like the West Side, but the South Side is much deeper. That's, Chance the Rapper, Chief Keef, and
Kanye,
Common, all of like
we
the
can,
South
from
Side.
the beginning of the entire podcast, we understand the difference now. Now that you say Chance, Kanye, we understand the difference between Twister.
But though, the South Side got a lot of bad areas too, where niggas would blow your brains out too on the South Side. It ain't. I don't want to make it like the South Side.
Definitely.
Just weak, cause the South Side over East, 4120, the low end, the Hundreds, London Town, Argyle Gardens, like them places you don't want to fuck with. But like I was saying, majority of the South Side is, is much nicer and they got their shit together. And there's some people on the West Side could dress, but the South Side got us beat. And there's some people on the West Side getting money, but the South Side bigger, so they got more opportunity than we have.
Okay. So you make you in the studio, you grinding. R. Kelly's work ethic is crazy. Man, it's a full-time job. Mm-hmm. You a rapper now.
Yeah.
You a full-time rapper.
Full-time rapper now.
And when does the break come, bro?
The break come when he did the I Wish song, and people loved it. Like that song, like, was on the charts for, I think when it was like on the charts, it's for the first month, he was like, we gotta do a remix, this y'all time. Y'all got y'all name. We was like, man, he Boo, I'm Gotti. We just,
where you living at this time? Like, what's your life like at this time?
I had stopped.
You fucked up at this point.
I'm fucked up.
As far as bread wise, like you've been rocking him 2.5 years.
Aren't you sacrificing?
I ain't fucked up because I ain't have like I did, but the money I gave dude, he gave me some bread back and I had a little money. So I wasn't spending. See, with me, I never drunk, I never smoked, I never did drugs.
To this day, every time I'm with this
every time
in the club, you don't know why he's there.
So I didn't have them habits, so I was smart with my money. Even when I was 17, I had a beeper shop at 17 years old. But the whole thing, everything that I was trying to get and legitimize myself, it wasn't working because I had 1 foot in trying to be right. So shit just kept going left. Like my uncle ran and then, I don't know, like.
It happens, it's the game.
Yeah, so I done took losses, but I wasn't where I was. Like I went in a stash like a couple of times. There was times that I'm sitting up there with Boo writing and I probably got $5 in my pocket. I'm like, Boo, I'm like, Boo, man, I'm gonna, hit the stash. I got a little more bread. He was like, nah, don't do it. I was like, well, I could have a, nigga put something out there. And he was like, nah. So that's when he started giving us checks. Like I think after like 7-8 months, he started giving us a check every 2 weeks or every month. His accountant meet us with a check. But it wasn't like thousands of dollars, but
it'll hold you over.
Exactly. So he said we're gonna do the remix and I Wish. That's our break.
Did you know it was gonna be big? Did you go into that verse like, yo, this is my verse?
I went into the verse talking about my dead homies, and My man Lynn, my man, who I say keep the do-rag over your bean head, that's my man Lynn. He looked just like dude off Jason Lyrics, G Money.
Yeah.
He looked just like dude. He had the good hair, he reminded me of him. He was a stone cold gangster, like the girls love him.
The verse was crazy, bro. The verse was crazy. When I met you, Rewind, in LaFonda's, that's the verse, obviously, that even made me, you know, as a rapper, and as a hustler at the same time, you know my pride is up. Mm-hmm. You know I don't want to talk to you because I don't know you. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say, yo, come get on this song. Mm-hmm. You know how that shit is. Mm-hmm. Anybody watch this that does music, it's difficult to step to another dude and be like, yo, man, you know, whatever. But that was the verse I said,
That's what Baby said. When we met Baby, Baby was like, I listen to that song every day for a half a year, every day. Everybody around him in my circle will tell you. We listen to that every day, just rewinding and play it back, play it back. That's what Baby told me. He was like, I became a fan at that point.
Okay. Word. No, I know that song is an incredible record, bro. Like I'm not even an R. Kelly fan.
But when you stepped to me,
that song,
when you stepped to me, I was humble, wasn't I?
100%.
Because,
100%.
like, in 01, when I first come out, 02, we got on Jermaine Dupri album with Usher. I Gotta Get Some, that's the name of the song. Me and Boo was on the song. The song on the Fast and Furious soundtrack just came out. We had our own song on there. We had a song on Ja Rule album, Pain Is Love. We had the I Wish
Which
remix
is like
song.
the biggest album out.
Man, we had the I Wish remix, the regular Fiesta remix, that video.
Jay's on that.
Then we on the Jermaine Dupri album. So I was way up here when I met them.
Can you tell me about the Fiesta session? Because back then, it was reels. It ain't no send an email for your verse. Y'all in the studio.
Yeah,
y'all recording.
Y'all was doing that on DATs though at that time, right? At like their little DAT tapes.
Are all y'all in the studio?
Yeah, all of
That's what I'm saying. That back then, everybody.
But when Jay came, he came in the studio. He dap us up, and he get to listen. Tone from Tone and Poke Trackmasters. They did the track, so Tone up there, and Jay, you know, he was just thinking of stuff. Then he got a pen and paper, and
So he's writing verses at this.
Yeah, and Rob was like, man, y'all just let him do his thing. So we stepped out, and then we stepped out for like 3 hours. We come back in, he wasn't ready. But he went in there, he was like, he went in the booth, he said, you can follow the braids, you can follow the waves. Whoever you follow who pays, something like that. He was like, nah, that ain't it. So he came back out there, he said he gonna ride the city. He rode the city, and came back like a couple hours later. He had the driver. He came back. He went in there, and he was like, that's when he just went in there and just killed it. Like, he ain't had no pen and paper. Then he just came in there and killed it. Like, we was like, damn. And like halfway through it, the engineer, he was like, somebody called, he's like, y'all go wait out there till he finished. So we went out there. So we ain't hear the whole verse, we heard half of it. So after they put a little light mix on there, we came in there, we was like, damn, that shit incredible. We was like, that's good. So now we like, okay, we gotta go to the next level. Cause Rob wanted us to hit his before we did ours.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah. So
Kelly knew what he was doing.
we heard that, I was like, damn. So I went first. Boo had his. I was like, no, I'm going in there, I went first. Then before Boo can even go in there, Tone was like, oh my God. So Tone gassed me up, because this Tone and Poke. I'm like, this nigga, I'm new to all of this. I don't know nothing about rapping and how you do that.
But real quick, take a pause, right? You coming off the I Wish.
Yeah.
So you obviously know you got something that works. You got something that works.
Man, me and Boo did like 30 songs when the Fiesta remix came. Like, we had like 30 of our own songs by that time.
That's what I'm saying. So you know you're a real rapper.
Yeah, I knew I was a real rapper, but I just was like, man, we in here with Tone and Poke. We in here with, you know,
Jay-Z. Like, it's
Jay-Z.
crazy right now.
I'm like, man, then we done saw like, bro, we, like, everybody done came right through there, from Kirk Franklin to J-Lo to Puffy to everybody. He done did songs with Nas, like everybody. This guy.
Street Dreams remix came out about that time, right?
That was 96.
100%.
Bro, don't do that.
I just was like, man, bro, when the song came, when the song was on the radio.
But what year are you talking about? That was around 96?
This 01. The Fiesta remix was 01.
Okay.
That was 2001.
Good call.
Good call. And when when it came on the radio, the I Wish came on the radio. Like my phone just wouldn't stop ringing, so I'm thinking somebody got killed. That's how I always used to think, because I had like 30 people dead by then.
Right.
Like, I was going to a funeral. I promise you, I was going to a funeral every month for like 7-8 years.
So your life just takes this drastic change off I Wish, which is crazy because everybody young that's out there doing music, you know, one night you could feel like you 1,000 songs away, but you really, you know, that's why the music game is so fucked up, but it's great. Because you could be one song away or you could be 1,000,000 songs
All
away.
it takes is that one song.
Is that one joint. And I Wish sent you from
after the I Wish
calls
remix,
that were the worst news to calls that were the best news.
After the I Wish remix, I promise you, bro, not even Fiesta, after the I Wish remix, everywhere we went, bro, it was crazy. Like, we was pop stars. I'm like, I couldn't, like, sometime I'll forget. I'll come out and then people just crowd around. It wasn't even camera phones popping.
It was straight Polaroids.
Man, and then there's sign this, it just be autographed. You don't even do autographs no more.
Yo.
Right.
I'm like, man, so.
Now you don't, you take selfies.
Bro, that shit was so crazy. I'm like, what?
I'm gonna ask some funny shit. When did your dance come about?
You did have it.
Because you had a fucking dance.
I don't know when it came about.
Yo, you was one of the first though. Yo, you was one of the first though. You was one of the
I
first.
ain't know how to,
you was ahead of your time.
I ain't know how
you was ahead of your
I
time.
ain't know how to like dance. So
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
So I just be like,
killing
I
that.
throw my hand
Yeah,
and
yo,
go
you was
like,
ahead of
the
your
whole
time.
Cash Money on the boat doing that.
Yeah, you was ahead of your time.
And Cabrini Green,
Damn,
in front of the
son, if
projects,
you-
all the kids was doing that on the
Damn,
internet.
Y'all had the excursion, cutting through the hood of
No, I
that
had
one
to,
video.
navigate.
Yeah, tell them about
I
the
had to-
navigator. Yo, so when
Yeah,
you
I had to-
when you get the deal, right? Because basically, I even feel like saying Rob now, but I can't. I don't know this motherfucker. R. Kelly, yeah. When he sells you to Cash Money,
No, he
He's
didn't sell
not
us the Cash
signed.
Money. I wasn't signed to them.
you wasn't signed, but he still gets something. It's still negotiations going on, right? After,
There's no
or they just
paperwork.
take you.
There's no
it wasn't
paperwork.
it
How
wasn't-
can it be?
They just take
and when
you?
they take me, it's like I build relationships. Like, you know, 2 Ways was out, and then you had the 2-way on your cell phone.
So you sneak making the deal?
I ain't sneak
What
making
you
a deal.
doing?
He told us that Interscope is not going to fund him no more. We need to
Oh,
make.
because of the shit he was going through.
Yeah, so he was like, man, y'all need to make something happen.
That's
and I'm
sex
behind
tape.
y'all,
Fuck
just
some
let me
money
know.
up. That's
So
sex tape.
when he give us the go ahead
Right.
to go try to get a deal, we was like, okay. So I had a relationship with Irv Gotti and Murder Inc. And I had a relationship with Def Jam just from being, because Irv Gotti, Murder Inc. office was in Def Jam building.
Right.
Then I had a relationship with Tata, Jay-Z cousin.
That's crazy.
So I got a relationship with
Off the
Tata. I
Fiesta
got a
joint.
relationship with, I got a relationship with Memphis Bleak. Then I had a relationship with Jermaine Dupri.
So y'all was free
We did a
agents.
song with him. So I'm reaching out to them. JD was like, man, come with it. So JD was going to give us $50,000 a piece. We say no. So Def Jam was going to give us $100,000. Murder Inc. didn't throw a number out there. So I was like, let me reach out to Wayne. I reached out to Lil Wayne. Me and Lil Wayne was cool. We was much cooler than me and Baby was. I reached out to Wayne. He was like, man, you sure? No paperwork, no lawyers? No, I was like, I'm positive. We got the blessings too. He was like, man, here go Stunner number, call him. Here go Baby number, call him. I'm going to tell him you call her. So he hit me back. He was like, Baby waiting on your call. I called Baby. I was like, man, what's up? He said, what up, whoa? I was like, what's good? And then I was like, Wayne tell you, or I need to explain everything. He was like, no, when can y'all get out here? I was like, man, we come in the next couple of weeks. He said, how about tomorrow? I was like, man, I don't know. He said, send me your real names. I'm sending a flight for y'all tomorrow, and I'm gonna have a driver at the airport. I was like, man, let me holler at Boo right. He said, man, send me your information now while you go talk to him. So I told Boo, he was like, hell yeah. So I told Kels, I was like, Rob, look, Baby told me to come out there. He was like, man, just don't forget about your boy. Give me a blessing or something. I said, it's all good. He said, you got your lawyer? I was like, yeah, we getting a lawyer. And we went out there and Baby was like, what y'all want? We said $1 million. He was like, nah, man. What y'all want? I was like, $1 million.
Yeah.
And then the negotiation went from his lawyer to our lawyer, and we ended up getting $650 to split.
Law.
Yo.
Lit. Back lit.
Yo, just real quick.
Legal lit.
It gives so much insight. Baby was aggressive. Shout out to R. Kelly for giving y'all
Man,
saying
shout
go
out
ahead.
to everybody I ever worked with from where the camera at? Right here, right here, right here.
All over.
All that.
Yeah,
Shout out to R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Kanye West did 2 tracks for us. Irv Gotti.
What tracks he
Jazzy
did?
Faye.
You can't just skip over that.
The album ain't come out.
Kanye did 2 tracks on Me and Boo album with Cash Money. Album did
came
come
out?
out.
It came
Yeah,
out?
damn. I know
Motherfuckers
our album
be saying-
flop, but
Yo, I ain't gonna act like I heard it.
Yeah, I'm thinking
That's the
that.
A Man was the single from our album.
I remember that. Did you
I'm
remember
thinking
that?
that Beans. I'm thinking I'm a hip hop historian. I'm thinking that Beans the Truth is Kanye's first joint.
Single.
Yeah, but you know Kanye did our album was in 03. We did our album in 03.
What joints he did?
He did, man, you got to
don't
look
even
at the
remember.
you got to look at the CD.
yeah,
But yeah, Kanye and Kanye, we was in the studio with him and he produced it and he produced 2 songs right there. He produced 3, but I think 2 of them made it.
Okay.
And yeah, shout out to him, Usher, Jermaine Dupri, everybody I ever worked with who I'm on their album, anybody I ever ghostwrite for because they gave me the fresh air and the fresh breath that I needed to survive and do this music because it could have went left. It could have went a whole nother way where I got discouraged and shit didn't pop and I'm back in the streets or dead or locked up. So they really, you know what I'm saying, they really supported me and took me in and they kept it 100. I always been me. So the same people I ever work with, I still got relationships with. That's why I say relationships is very important.
I think that's and when we bring it full circle, which we still got a little bit of the story to go, but I think that's gonna be a key point. I think that's
So what sours with the Cash Money deal that you don't think?
So because you thinking you on top of the super world right now.
You with Cash Money. They
Boy
like,
Gotti, 650 to split. I don't even mean to tell you a story, but you go and cop the Navi, right? That's what.
No, I had
what you went and
I had
cop?
the Navigator.
You already had the Navigator.
Yeah, I had the Navigator before I got with Cash Money.
Navigators were for real. Remember Fox talked
when
about
I got with
the
Cash
Navi,
Money,
everybody
when I
talking
first
about
got the check with Cash Money, I copped a house. I bought a house.
Okay.
I bought a house for $199,000. I bought a house for right under $200,000. That's the first thing I got with
in
the
Chicago.
check.
In Chicago?
No, I had a place in Chicago. I had a condo. I bought a house out here. 03 when All Star was out here. I bought a house out here
That was a good
because
time.
Cash Money, we was recording out here a lot.
Okay.
So when I had my house out here, like, they didn't have no house. They was staying at a hotel out here most of the time.
Yeah.
And
You
I
just had
always
the
wanted-
insight to like, let me get a cop a crib.
I copped the crib because Wingo from Jagged Edge, he used to come pick me up from the Swiss Hotel. Me and Wingo was cool. Swiss
Lennox.
Hotel was where the Westin is, where
Lennox.
Lennox Mall at.
Got you.
So Wingo was like, man, you staying here a week at a time in a penthouse, you wasting $3,000-$4,000. You could get a mortgage here for $1,500 in Atlanta. And I was like, man, I don't want no little crib like that, no in the hood.
But in the A,
He was like,
it's
nah, this,
different.
yeah. Because
You
in
get a big
Chicago,
crib.
like in Chicago, you still in the hood $1,500.
Right,
So
yeah.
he was like, I'm gonna put you with my realtor and then go from there. So he gave me his realtor number, Mark, and I called him. He was like, yeah, it's some houses being built in a new subdivision. I could take you by it. I was like, man, can you send a picture? He was like, just trust me. I'm gonna buy you something to eat or whatever. So I went over there and I saw the subdivision when they was built. They was halfway done with the house. He was like, this house really $225, $230. I can get it for you below cost because they not done building yet. So he's like, I get it for you for $195. So anyway, I got it for $199. When he said it, I was like, yeah, I want it. What I need to do?
Right.
And he was like, how's your credit? I said, I don't know. He was like, you don't have a car and you don't. I was like, yeah, but I just cashed out. Like, this is my first job, really, like on paper. He was like, all right, so, we went through it. And actually, my credit wasn't that bad. My scores was in the hot 600s, all 3 of them. And I ain't even know nothing about credit.
Right.
So I got the house. Miami, I stopped coming to Atlanta. And I was just in Chicago a lot. And then I started being in Miami. So 07, 08, I moved to LA. I rented my place out here. I moved to LA. And I was in LA trying to act and rap, but I was like, I don't know, I was taking Tasha Smith class. She said, you gotta come every day. I say, look, I can't do this every day. I rap, I do appearances, I go home, I still live in Chicago too. She's like, you doing too much. You ain't gonna make it, you doing too much. Yeah. So then I agreed to take private classes with her, and then I'd be gone for 2-3 weeks from LA when I was living there. She'd be like, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, she taxing you.
I got a question you ain't gonna answer.
What is it?
Did Gilly write Carter 1 and Carter 2?
I can't say. I could say.
Was he there?
I can say. I don't think nobody wrote entire albums for Lil Wayne because I was there. I can't say that, and I'm not saying I ghost wrote for him, but I ghost write for like 4 major artists. But I can't say like Wayne style is stupid sick. He write a lot of his own stuff, if not all his own stuff. So I can't say
nothing wrong if he got help.
Yeah, I can't say nobody wrote. I can't even say nobody wrote 3-4 songs for Wayne. But I fuck with Gilly, and Gilly is he's a class act. Like I believe that Gilly, like if he say he gonna do something, he gonna do it. Like he got good character. So I've been around Gilly, but if
y'all
Wayne,
was around that whole Cash Money time.
What was Cash Money like?
What was Gilly doing during
Gilly
this time?
was signed with Cash Money. He was an artist, and then his crew was signed with Cash Money. Major figures. They all had a deal. Lava had a deal with Cash Money. Lil Mo was signed at the time.
Lil Mo was signed.
Rodney Jerkins, his company signed a deal at the time. Tina Marie was signed at the time.
Remember that?
Me and Boo, Strings, Mickey from Chicago. Mickey was a beast. Like, my friendship with Mickey now is all the way different than it was then. Then I took Mickey for granted. 'Cause, like, Mickey was from the South Side, I'm from the West Side, Chicago. So it was like a big thing, like, it was just stupid. Like, you grow. I'm still not the man that I want to be, but I'm blossoming. Like, I'm becoming who I'm supposed to be. But now I look back at Gilly. Gilly was saying some shit. Like, Gilly was saying some shit back then. I was like, not just Gilly, but Mickey was saying some shit. Like, Mickey was so lyrical. I'm like, damn, like, Mickey from Chicago and the shit he was saying, I was like, I wasn't hearing that in Chicago.
He was an East Coast nigga.
Man, Mickey was underrated still to this day, but now he managed G Herbo.
That's dope.
My son's favorite rapper.
Yeah,
G Herbo.
You gotta make that call.
That's his favorite rapper.
Yeah, Mickey.
He talks about his ass all the fucking time.
So this shit happens, right? You basically, you seeing dreams come true that you never saw imaginable, right?
I never
You literally, this story, and thank you for sharing this shit, bro, but your story goes from like real street shit to some shit that everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people imagine and never ever get to.
Yeah.
Your shit actually happens. Like you get the ultimate. 650 is a huge number. Buying houses, cashing out. Buying cars, cashing out. What happens after that?
After that, me and Boo album came out with Cash Money in 03 or 04. I believe it was 03.
And your vision of what's gonna happen, I know, is like, yo, we about to take over the world.
Though. I think our album sold 80,000 copies.
Why you think?
But you didn't think that it was.
Why do you
flop?
think that? That's what I'm saying. What?
I just think.
I remember your videos. They weren't bad. They were like they were good records.
I don't know. I could just blame us. Like,
I was on the boat.
Yeah, y'all was on the fucking yacht.
That was Baby Dump song. We featured on that.
That shit was hard though.
Yeah, that was Baby Dump
with
song.
that joint. That shit was hard.
But I think it was.
I remember you driving through the hood in the video in the Navigator.
It
was in the
Navigator. Excursion was in the I Wish video.
Right.
Okay.
The Navigator was in
that was mine. After that video, 2 months later, like people just pull up on me. I had to sell that truck.
Okay.
Word, because they was on it.
Man, yeah.
They was on it.
Yeah, I'll never put my car in a video, my music video ever again. Like,
with the do-rag on. I remember that joint.
Yeah, I had my do-rag on.
What kind of pressure was you getting from your hood off that video? Like, what was it like being the...
Honestly, I'm one of the most humble guys you know that.
Right.
It wasn't really no guys coming at me like that. Because the work I put in the street, people weren't even playing with me. I promise.
But not even that. Not even on... I'm not saying on no, like, bully shit.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, let me get something type shit.
I know you got it.
Because they thinking you got $100 million.
You with Cash Money.
Because you're not... This ain't... Like I said, this ain't New York. This ain't LA. This
like
Chicago.
My main guys that was with me, we really, like, went our separate ways because they didn't believe in me and they thought it was a joke. And they really thought I was like making a mockery of this music.
That shit was a blessing because you got rid of them early.
I got rid of them. So my cousins, I got so many cousins on my mom's side and my father's side. Like, I got a huge family on both sides. So it was more of them, but most of them just wanted to be with me and be seen with me and still wanted me to hang out and spend time with them, which I did when I had a chance, because we started being on the road so much, especially like with Cash Money, because they'll tour a lot. Like, Rob wasn't touring a lot.
Were they paying though? Like Cash Money
was paying. Hey,
I hear the story, so I want you to clear it up.
I don't know nobody else's situation. I can only speak on mine. Cash Money never shorted me one penny. If anything, Baby gave me more than what was on paper.
That's good, like, clearing it up. Everybody hear about.
We did the Hood Rich tour and got paid. We did the Nellyville tour and got paid. Everything we did with Cash Money, we did the Apollo, we did Soul Train. We got, like, the checks kept coming. I've never been short a check with Baby them ever.
Okay.
Like, even when I got my house, Baby gave me $5,000 for, said, get you a housewarming gift. That's what he gave me out of his pocket. Didn't have nothing to do with it on paper. So Baby really fucked with me. Slim fucked with me. That was his brother. Slim behind the scenes. Slim, like, one of the smartest dudes in the music industry. Slim is brilliant. So I never had a problem with Baby. Like, Baby come to Chicago, he see the love I get, Detroit, New York, LA, everywhere we was going. Like, I had my street niggas I was affiliated with, and I had my legitimate people, so he like that. So Baby was really, like, impressed with me, like, man, you young and these people really follow you and look up to you like that. So me and Baby had an understanding, man. So he ain't never shortchanged me ever. Other people's situation, that don't have nothing to do with me.
So that's, yo, this, like, I know this journey is, like, crazy. I know, going back, keep it real, you done said some shit you ain't even think you was gonna touch on tonight.
Yeah.
Like, yo, but, like, to bring it full circle as we wrap, like, please, man, let them know what you got going on, how you came full circle, how this transition, how all these relationships you kept from being solid, how they transition into what you got going on now.
And I like to say, too,
go ahead.
we talking about that's 03, 04. It's 2018.
Yeah.
You're talking about damn near 15 years. How you surviving? That shows being a good person.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? So
that's it.
Explain it.
If somebody, you know, they're gonna have some negative to say about any and everybody, but if somebody really say, I did them dirty, like, that could never be the truth. I always been, like, you know, I haven't always been a person I am now. I'm righteous. I think I'm a king. I think we all kings, and I think women queens, and I'm for what we got going on with our movement as us, the people that look like me and the people that bleed like me and our culture. I'm for it. So anything that I could do, I'm a motivational speaker now. I'm speaking at 2 schools in LA this week. And then I'm speaking at a jail in LA, at a prison. I go to Job Corps, detention centers. So I have a production company with my partners called Mitchell and Scott. My last name, his last name. So we have a production company. That's one source of income. And then I have a real estate company, G Enterprises Real Estate. I buy foreclosures from the courthouse and from auctions. And I buy the foreclosure, and then I rehab it, and then I flip it. And then I have a consultant company. And one of my friends / clients, Alshon Jeffrey, just won a Super Bowl. So right now I don't have
used to play for the Bears.
Yeah, used to play for the Bears. I don't have many clients as I want, but it's building. I have 3 consultants
you got
that
good
work
ones.
for me.
It ain't many, it's quality over quantity.
Yeah, we're a good team. Like, anybody that's around me, I don't look at them as workers and employees. I look at them as family and, like, business colleagues. Like, we in this together to build and be better. I don't never want nobody to stay my employee. I want them to get to my level and then surpass my level.
Right.
I never wanted flunkies around me or yes man. I don't even, them type of people I just say hi and bye to. Like, I like somebody that's not cocky and arrogant, but that respect themselves and know they worth. That's confidence. And know that you could do anything you really put your mind to. Because, like, to make it out from where I was at and what I've seen and things I've been through, it's a blessing. I have no choice but to be positive. So I don't think negative. When I get up, I pray, I meditate, and I think of everything that I'm gonna do, and then I manifest it. It comes out. So everybody around me either doing something better than me, they spirit better than mine, or they wealthier than me. And it's a couple people I still keep around so I could pull up and help. But they gotta put the first foot forth. Like, you gotta show me that you doing this. I can't want more for you than you want for yourself.
Word. Well, yo, man.
That's a perfect ending right there.
100%. You wrapped it up crazy.
Man, I appreciate you guys.
Nah, man,
having
you ain't
me
even.
over here, man.
We
When called, I was like, man, y'all say that's family. You serious? He was like, yeah, they say they know. I say that's family, man.
Right.
Tell the people where they can find you.
Oh, the only social media I have is Instagram. That's Who Is Gotti. I don't have Twitter, Facebook, none of that. I just have Instagram. It's Who Is Gotti. WHOISGOTTI.
The easiest show. This is probably the easiest show we had. Number
100%.
one. Him and Brandy. You know Brand.
Right.
Brand is my heart, man.
Free
I
pretty
love
girls.
Brand.
Yeah,
When I
you
first
see
met
what
Brand,
she's doing. You see the
was
moves she
cool.
making. She going crazy right now. She hustling.
Yeah, Brand is such a sweetheart. She a great, proud family, great. Every time she used to bring people from the D, she'd introduce them to me. We go eat. I used to hang out at her place. She hang out at my place. That's family.
So like those are the easiest episodes with guests that we know. And when it's genuine, it ain't work. You know what I'm saying? So
Word.
it was ill.
We appreciate you coming out, man, sharing your story. We
Ain't
hope
seen you in a while, but when I see you, it's like
Yeah, I be under the radar, man.
Nah, you
I
do
be
right,
under the radar,
man.
bro.
I be under the radar too.
I hit a club every night. I think last year I went out 6 times the whole 2017.
I don't remember the last time I seen
4
him.
times was paid events to
But
show
don't
up
front.
there.
I seen
We
him
might
at
have went out.
11:45.
We might have went out.
That's where I
6
see you at.
times
Me and him was
in
at 11:45.
Keep it real. We might have went
Not
out 6
last
times.
year.
No, I'm talking about
the
maybe 5
past,
years
yeah,
ago. We might have went
yeah.
out 6 times
That's
in 1
what
week.
I'm saying. But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not
It ain't
even
like that no
anything
more.
wrong with going out. It's just I'm at a
Yeah.
different place in life. I see things different.
Yo, so to wrap everything up, man, make sure they follow you. See everything
Who
you
is
got
Gotti?
going on.
WHOISGOTTI. Who is
And you got
Gotti.
artists
And my
out.
website is whoisgotti.com.
Right, and you got artists.
Yeah, Matthew McQueen and Luke Whitney, 2 dope artists. Like
Word.
They
gonna
rap,
change
they
the world.
sing, what they do?
They sing. They pop, R&B, soul. Like
Dope.
they incredible.
Dope.
Drug Dealer's Dreams, man.
Look out
you know,
for him.
Yeah, they're
Drug
incredible.
Dealer's Dream. Sign it off, man.
don't let what you come from be your ending, be.
If you're tuning in for drama,
Tune out.
tune out.
Yeah, I'm not about no drama. I don't let no negative energy get around me. None.
Word.
Facts.
No negative energy allowed around me.